nothing has been done. Negotiations are yet to start in some states. Nothing has been done in some states, let's put it that way. Negotiations are yet to start in some states. Some states, labor in those states, are believing and hoping. You know what we do in this country? We believe in God a lot. We believe God will come true, and that's why we're the second most prayerful nation in the world. So yeah, labor at the various state levels are praying that the state governors will implement this wage award, which, by the way, I'm wondering if it is the solution to the problem that we are faced with. But according to the article, in Rivers State, the TUC said it would fully comply and implement the ultimatum given to the federal government by organized labor. The ultimatum given to the federal government by labor is till the end of this month. And I remember over the weekend, Labour once again came out and told the federal government that they would not give any warning if they were to embark on another strike, or if they were to embark on a strike. This time there will be no warning because all the agreements have been made. So it applies to the state governments as well. And I'm wondering, in River State, what will happen? Does Labour in River State have the capacity, to push the government to do the needful? I'm just asking. It's not like I have anything against either the government or Labour. I'm just asking a question. But really, do they have that capacity? Because I tried to call, I tried to reach out, but I'm yet to hear anything tangible. And so the civil servants could tell me, which way forward, which way are they traveling on, and which way is Labour going. But however, the state TUC chairman Ikechukwu Infuru stated this while speaking with the correspondent of the Punch in Port Harcourt on Tuesday. He stated, and I quote, "State unions are subject to national directives, and the 30-day ultimatum was issued by the national body to the federal government and directed to all state chapters to also issue demands to their respective state government and implement the same. This means that if any state peradventure decides to jettison that directive, such a state is already in breach of the national directive." So what I'm saying is that it is a national directive and the respective states have been served, and it is expected that they will respond. The chairman of the NLC and TUC in Benue State, Terungwa Igbe, and Gideon Aka disclosed that they had written to the state governor on the wage award for workers. So I'm wondering, what happens if the state governments cannot meet up with the demands of labor, cannot meet the 2 weeks ultimatum or the 2 weeks deadline? I think deadline is preferably the word I should use. What happens then? What happens? Interesting. But let's go to the next big story. Remember, I like to get your thoughts on each of the stories. If you've got anyone that has piqued your interest, I'd like to get your view. But the next one is something you and I talked about yesterday. Cash transfer to 15 million households for 65 million Nigerians. 25,000 monthly for 3 months. We talked about it yesterday. And so when I saw several headlines in it this morning, I was like, I can't wait to come into the studio to gist with you because that's what we do sometimes. And interestingly, the humanitarian minister, Betta Edu, says that the cash transfer is one of the best ways, one of the key ways to tackle poverty in Nigeria. And that was the question we asked yesterday, right? So, I mean, listening to the minister, maybe your mind must have changed. How you thought about the situation must have changed. I don't know. I'm asking you. Because, she described the conditional cash transfer as one of the key instruments for fighting poverty globally, not just in Nigeria. It's a global something. She said, it's done in other parts of the world where they share, and they share money so that people can come out of poverty. So are we being too hasty in our skepticism, in our for some criticism. Are we to hasty in that stead? Because she's saying this is something that they do globally to fight poverty. But then the minister, Wale Dun, says that the Tinubu administration is bent on eradicating poverty, and although this is temporary, it will still help cushion the effect of the current economic reality. And so I'm bringing back our conversation from yesterday after listening to these two ministers from the federal government. And I'm wondering, what do you think? What do you think about this? What do you really think about this? Do you think at all, nine bad pass, like we say in our local parlance, at all? Yeah? Is that what you think? Or do you think, you know what? We lack creativity when we do governance in Nigeria, not just the federal level, the state level and all. We lack creativity, yeah? So I'm thinking, what do you make of it? I'd like to get your views on this issue. And then we move on now to the next big story. And the next big story is quite a controversial story, because yesterday we got the report that some repentant, would I call them criminals? Can I call them criminals? I should be able to call them criminals, right? Some repentant criminals were absorbed by the Nigerian police in Kano State. Yes, we saw that report yesterday. You must have heard it even in our news bulletin when we read it in one of our news. And now the police is coming out to say that is fake news. That is false news. That's what the police is now saying. That it's not what you think. Yesterday we told you 50 repentant criminals were recruited into the force as constables. And I remember the news saying the Commissioner of Police, Mohammed Gumel, stating that the 50 repentant criminals were lucky to have turned a new leaf. Now, CP Gumel addressed the press and told us about the repentant criminals that they had gone or undergone 2 months training. Now, the CP also said that the 50 repentant criminals were part of the 222 repentant criminals who have since surrendered themselves and promised never to engage in thuggery activities. So I got confused, really confused, when I saw a report this morning on the Punch newspaper still, with the caption, "Police deny recruiting criminals in Kano State." And I'm going to read the article so you would understand where my confusion is coming from. The Kano State Commissioner of Police, Hussaini Gumel, has reacted to a report by an online news platform that the command recruited criminals into the force. The CP described the story as not only malicious but a calculated attempt to destroy the good image of Kano State Police Command. He said that Nasiru Abdullahi, who was described as a criminal by the online news platform, is among the 222 repentant influential youths in Kano granted amnesty by the state. All right. And so I'm thinking, as sensitive as the police is, the police is supposed to uphold the laws of the land. The police is supposed to maintain peace and order. The police is supposed to secure the country internally. Such a sensitive security agency, should the agency be having or recruiting repentant criminals? Now, on one side, when you look at this conversation, you want to say, okay, these people know how the criminals would work. They were doing the same thing a while ago, so they can think the way the criminals would necessarily think. But then again, we have been complaining that the police have not been acting professionally, and the police itself has been trying to eradicate the bad eggs, in its force. Would this be a good move? Would this be I know we need people to join the police. The police is not having enough manpower and all of that stuff. But is this the right move? You're listening to Hard Facts with Kalada Kurubatubo on 92.3 Nigeria Info. We've got a commercial break. When we come back, we continue. 27 minutes gone past the hour of 3. Yes, you're listening to Hard Facts on 92.3 Nigeria Info. I am Kalada Kurubata. But remember, you can watch us live on Facebook, Nigeria Info PH. You can also watch us live on YouTube, Nigeria Info PH. And we're active on X, Nigeria Info PH. And to join the conversation via the phone, you could use any of the call numbers 0817 923 0002 and 0817 923 0003. Let's get your thoughts on the big three stories. The first one has got to do with Labour giving some warnings to the state governors, the state governments concerning the wage award. And they're saying if by the end of the month nothing happens, then the state government would have to bear the brunt. And Labour, I don't know what they'll do, but they have not said what they'll do. But they say that month end is the deadline for the state governments to, go about implementing the wage award. And in River State, it's the same. They are waiting to hear from the government. They are hoping to hear from the government. But I'm asking the question, do you see the government doing the needful? Then the next big story has got to do with something you and I talked about yesterday, the cash transfer to 15 million households. And, the minister coming out, the Minister for Humanitarian Affairs coming out to say, hey, this is one of the key ways to eradicate poverty. And it made headline. And I'm asking you, do you agree with that? Do you think that is the best way, or one of the best ways, or one of the key ways to fighting poverty in any part of the world, especially in Nigeria? And the Minister for finance while I do eradicating poverty. And although this is temporary, we're going to make sure that we use this means to reduce the level of poverty in Nigeria. And then finally, we went all the way to Kano State, where in Kano State, repentant criminals have now, joined the police as constables. 0817-923-0002 and 0817-923-0003. A WhatsApp number. Send your WhatsApp messages to 0809 030 6416. Once again, 0809 030 6416. What is your take on any of the big stories, any of them that piques your interest? I'd like to hear from you. I've got Frank, and Frank is calling me from D-Line. Frank, greetings to you. Welcome on the show. Let's talk, please.
Yeah, good afternoon, Canada.
Yeah, Frank, welcome.
Let me talk about repented
criminals.
Join Nigerian police force. It's not a good one, Canada. The humanity with a couple with a dog voice. How can somebody who is a police or a bandit join police force? They would have allowed them to do any other work, not to be whole gone in Nigeria. I'm afraid in this country, in short, I'm short of words. Thank you and God bless you.
All right, thank you very much. I've got Zion. Zion is calling from GRA. Zion, welcome. What is on your mind, please? Let's hear you.
Yeah, for the issue of labor to the state governors, labor should be patient now and observe how much governors are going to receive for this vote allocation, if there's an increment or not. Where will the governors have the money to pay if the government did not give them higher budget or increase their wage bill? So they should for once be patient. And to me, I look at it as labor is of no good interest for Nigeria to even accept such an offer.
All right.
Such offer is demonic. Now for the news from Kano State, the truth is this, it's a clear indication that we are breeding criminals as a country. And it's a dangerous approach. Why should you put is that the only way to apply these people back to the society? Should they even be talking about
but Zion, they say that these people know about the thought patterns, the work styles of the criminals, so they will be able to advise and apprehend.
No now. This kind of issues being better discussed in the beer parlor. When the people are drunk, they now bring this kind of idea and discuss to watch away according to the only thing government think is to put criminals into the Nigerian police force.
And they've taken amnesty, so they're no longer criminals, right?
Please, can they offer the same revenue allocation or goodwill to Port Harcourt prison? A lot of them have repented in Port Harcourt prison.
Okay.
Also in Okaka Bayelsa prison, please, can they also do that? Because all the criminals in Port Harcourt Correctional Center have repented. They want to join Nigerian police.
Okay.
The one in Bayelsa want to join Nigerian police.
Okay.
Please, I want to beg the
all right, Zion, thank you.
Thing.
Thank you very much for your time. God's power from it. You're welcome. Let's get to hear what's on your mind, please.
Yeah, Canada, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon to you.
Yeah, I want to contribute on the wages, that the labor is talking about.
Okay.
You see, I heard somebody was saying that government should labor should just last, and allow the government to say something. It's not like the government of Rivers State, because since the federal government implemented additional 5 years, even for teachers, also part of the civil servants. It's only Rivers State and Bayelsa that has never implemented that. The other states within the Niger Delta state and even the eastern part of Nigeria or south have not implemented this. So this one now, so you can't say that the level should keep quiet. They will not keep quiet.
All right.
They have to start making noise now, so that the state government I think they will wake up. They will know that the level is very serious, because the civil servant in the state has suffered in the past 8 years of EM Wike's administration. So right. I don't subscribe to that. And another one is the issue of this other one that summarize, please. I've got to go now. Okay, the palliative they said they are giving to 15 million households or whatever. I'm here to get the parameter they will use in measuring who is a poor person and who is not a poor person, because the poor man does not even have account. All right then. Okay. So I think they need to tell us how they are going to do it.
All right, thank you very much, God's Power. Moving on, Real Gift from Port Harcourt Township. Real Gift, welcome. What is on your mind? Please, let's hear you.
Good afternoon to you, Chief K.
Yeah, good afternoon, Real Gift.
Thank you very much. You know, I've told you before, my community, we are told that only those who walk during the night understand the thoughts of the spirit.
Okay.
But I thought detectives in the Nigerian police force have also been trained on a go-on training that will make them become the same spirit or know the orders of the spirit when they walk during the night also. Because if you are not telling me that these former criminals can think out how the criminal way they perform now will think, then what is the essence of the training these persons get in the Nigerian police force? For me, is it that we just want to continuously reward crimes? Okay. Because if I regret, oh my God, I think it is better, just like Mr. Zion said, go to all the correctional centers, give them questionnaires, ask them which of them want repent. They give where they agree, say they want repent. They put them into the Nigerian police force so that at least we can use them to catch the other criminals who don't want repent.
All right. Then.
It's really unfortunate.
All right then.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for your time. I've got Solomon, and Solomon is calling from Uzwaba. Let's listen to Solomon. Solomon, welcome on the show. What's on your mind, please?
Good afternoon, Kalada. Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon to you.
Yes. You see, this police recruitment issue in Kano, because the police already have a terrible image. We've been crying about that. Now they are bringing in these people in the name of, are they the expert now? Who train them to be expert, on how to detect criminals? The bottom line is, in the end, they will bring them into the south this way. That is the end result we are going to get.
All right.
It's not a palatable one at all, please. It's not a palatable one.
Okay. All right. It's not a palatable one, you said. Thank you very much for your time. Let's look at what we have, the WhatsApp platform. Let's see. Good afternoon, Kalada. The best way to eradicate poverty is to fix our refineries in Nigeria, especially. There is no brainer in giving 25,000 naira to 50 million households. How long can that take them? After that, what else? They will fall back into poverty. Let them fix their refineries. Jerry from Ozwaba. But Jerry, maybe why they are giving the money for 3 months could be because in 3 months the refineries may, or one part of the refineries may start working. Maybe, just maybe. But let's read another message. This one says, good day, Kalada. On the Kano issue and police recruitment, I must say I do not trust the agencies in Nigeria. A lot of lies have been told to Nigerians. In every rumor, there is some atom of truth, and so many things we don't know happens in the northern region. Nicholas Erasmus. All right, I've got another Nicholas calling from Oibo. Let's take a listen. Nicholas, welcome. What's on your mind, please?
Good afternoon, Canada.
Yeah, good afternoon to you. Welcome.
I want to quickly react on the recruitment of these criminals into Nigerian police force.
They say they are former criminals. They are no longer criminals.
I want to ask, should Nigerians turn to criminals or bandits before they can given an opportunity to work or given employment? Because I could remember that years back, I tried this same force. I passed everything, but because for document, my name was erased.
How do you know your name was erased? Are you a part of the administration? How do you know your name was erased?
I checked it. With that screen, I checked it. Yeah, with my serial number. My serial number was there, but my name was not there.
Okay.
My serial number was there, and my name was not there.
So what's your point? Your point is?
The point I'm trying to make is this: that a criminal is a criminal, not how they are recruited. It's not all of them that are recruited into that profession that are repented. There are still other ones that are not repented. At the end of the day, they will be in that profession and start with how many people, as it may be, you're always hired in the society. So it's not all of them. You should not come and tell us that it's all of them are repented. It's not all of them.
All right then.
So that's a take.
All right, thank you very much. I've got Frederick. Frederick is calling from Rumo C. Let's take a listen. Frederick, welcome. What's on your mind, please?
Okay, yeah. Good afternoon, Canada.
Yeah, good afternoon to you.
Okay, I want to just lay my voice on the wage as concerns the labor and that is, I mean, Canada. It is not. There is no thing that this might that the government of this day, the government of Nigeria, state government as it were, will not be able to afford to give to the government. They have said do this to the people. No, now. Why would they, if they will not call one name and bring trillions of naira for it? If it is one that affects human beings, would they not bring out this fund and make the life of the people, the life of the citizens, Nigeria to be better in this kind of period? Then I see them as enemy to the people. I tell you the truth. They will practically be enemies to the people. They could not state that will claim that they cannot do that. Not state in Nigeria that will claim that they cannot do that.
Are you sure?
All the embezzle and all they do.
Are you sure?
And secondly, I want to lay my voice on the Nigerian police saying that they have bringing in repented. Are you repenting by the face or by the trust that is there? Or are they repenting? They are bringing them into the force. Is it a special law that they get to repent or what? It's a question I want to answer.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Frederick. Thank you very much. I've got to move on. This one says Labour issuing 2 weeks warning to governors for payment of new wage award. If most states in Nigeria couldn't pay 30,000 minimum wage, how then do you expect them to pay an extra 35,000? Labour should have concluded negotiation with both FG and state governors before calling off the strike. There is no sincerity in the part of Labour, and they will achieve nothing from the warning. Conditional cash transfer to 50 million households will not eradicate poverty. Rather, this is yet another wasteful spending by government. First of all, this money is most likely going to the account of political loyalists and not the poorest of the poor. If the government wants to eradicate poverty, they should identify small and medium-scale businesses and industries, give them grants and loans, and grant them tax haven. If the government could do these things, trust me, more people will be employed and the economy would be improved. Sharing money to people as never and will never eradicate poverty. Daniel from Uzorba. All right, Daniel, thank you very much. This one says, good day, sir. If you're saying that Nigeria is the second most prayerful nation, which nation is the first? As for NLC, they are next to FGN in torturing Nigerians. Nicholas from Mile 4. All right, this one says, good afternoon, Kalada. Best place to put those criminals is not the police but army, because police will not give them required training to reset their brain, but army will do. They need going to war, not standing on the road. All right then. All right. You say your name is Amadi. Thank God. Amadi, thank you very much. This one says, good afternoon. Do you know what surprises me in all of this? Some people who believe they're intelligent subscribe to this scam. You cannot help who doesn't want to be helped. The people are their own enemy. Newton Ikera. Newton, which story are you referring to? But I get your point. Let's see. This one says there is little or no chance of the refineries working. The moribundness will continue. The government should focus on that as it is the panacea for poverty alleviation. All right. Let's see this one. This one says the recruitment of those talks into NPF in Kano state is called license to kill, or Aguji Igbe. That is when a lion is now holding a gun. Kalada, can you imagine how stronger the lion now is? Tell us how far Nigeria has degenerated. There is fire on the mountain, Uchiwanchikumboba. But they are going to be constables, so maybe they would not need a gun just yet. Nah, I don't think they'll need a gun just yet. But if the fact is, they will be in the police force. All right, I've got Ida, and Ida is calling from Ikoro. Ida, welcome on the show. I greet you right back.
If you mention your concern, criminals to enter into police.
They are repented criminals.
Now listen, now what if they are on the road now, standing with innocent one? If they've offended somebody, maybe years ago, the person now saw them. What will happen? It's not supposed to happen for police.
No. You would respect the uniform. All right then. All right. Thank you very much, Ida. Thank you very much, Ida. All right. All right.
Thank you, Honorable.
Thank you very much, Ida. Moving on, please. This one says King Aloze, writing from Port Harcourt, palliative is respite, not a lasting solution. If we put together all the money spent on palliative in Nigeria from the past administration to this current administration of President Bola Tinubu, this money would have solved the problem or problems totally. We will continue to record zero results in improving the livelihood of the people, economy, etc. I weep for my dear country, Nigeria. King Aloze, writing from Port Harcourt. You can join the conversation 0817-923-0002 and 0817-923-0003. And this one says, hi, for me, I don't think that state labor have the capacity to compel state government to succumb. How could a minister come out to say such a thing? So FG of so federal government of countries sharing money for citizenry for some months is generally accepted. One of the ways of eradicating poverty or the country is only in Nigeria such a perspective can emanate from what a country and the kind of persons chosen as ministers. Nigerians are not surprised by them coming out to counter the report, but we all know that such reports about force in northern part of Nigeria is not the first time it's making news. We have heard many times of so-called repented Boko Haram boys recruited in one of the Nigerian big force too. I think one of the top three biggest headlines today was Bala's revelation about the 2023 presidential election, but you chose to leave it behind. But it's alright, as it is your show. If actually Nigerian forces should stop recruiting the so-called repentant criminals, I beg Nigeria have the number one most prayerful nation as they pray for everything. Alright, if you say so. Moving on. This one says, Canada, good day. Tinubu and Edu's largesse of 25,000 naira is for the party men. I talked with women who received Buhari's, and I talked with a woman who received Buhari's, and she said 20,000 was paid into her account, and the middleman collected 10,000 at first, and eventually 15,000, giving her only 5,000. Imagine how much the controller of this venture will be smiling with. Where did the money come from? Loan, we hear. How do you take loans to distribute instead of investments? APC, please stop this money sharing because it is unproductive. Nigerians are not beggars. Give them jobs, let them earn a living, and resuscitate all moribund industries and factories to work. Use the money urgently to revamp our refineries to export petroleum products to the African markets for forex. Use the money for our educational systems to stop ASU strikes and increase researches to change the narrative against consumption and importation. Use the money for agricultural productions and mechanization of the sector. Remember, money sharing has been on since 1999 and before. And instead of poverty reduction, Nigeria has become poverty capital, meaning it's not a solution. Doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result is insanity. Braid is calling from Transamadi. Hello, Braid. Welcome. Let's get your thoughts. Hello, Braid. Can you hear me?
Hello. Good evening, Kalada.
Good afternoon. Afternoon it is. Welcome on the show.
The money the federal government is sharing, it doesn't have any significant improvement in our economy. If this money is being put into mostly refinery or mechanized farming, it will have productivity. There will be creation of jobs. Our teaming youth will be employed. It will help the economy. This money is just to channel to political supporters. You know, about 12 million people voted for Tinubu, and other political parties.
About how many? No, Braid. What's your statistics again? About how many people voted for Tinubu?
About 12 point something.
And no, it's 8+ million people.
It was about 12 million now.
8
plus other political parties that supported it. That is the
8 plus. But I'm telling you what it is. Are you INEC or I mean, why are you arguing with INEC? INEC said 8+ million. 8+ million people.
Okay, let me say that all together is about 30 million. Now you want to share money to those people.
But I'm telling you that 8+ million. Okay.
It will help us. This way they are going will not help the country.
All right then.
It will bring more problems, more criminality. After this, how many months they will give those money? After those months, what happens again? Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Braid. Thank you very much for your time. Real big issues recruiting repentant criminals. One day, one of them will become IG. What is the case study? Oh my goodness. Jerry, you probably have an argument there. You do. Okay, we're moving on. This says, my name is Emmanuel from Ogoloma in Okrika local government area. I disagree with the government bringing in repentant quotas into the larger police force. Are they trying to say that I'm trying to get your message here now. Are they trying to say that the trained police officers, I don't know how to do, okay, that the trained police officers don't know how to do their jobs anymore? Is it a way to encourage crime in Nigeria? I don't know. You know, the police would always say they don't have enough manpower, and maybe this is one way to improve the manpower in the police. Let's listen to Elliot. Elliot is calling from Bias Estate. Elliot, welcome on the show. What is
it? Clara, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon to you.
Let me just make it very brief. I've been following the labor issue that I've been talking about. I want to get some clarity, please. Is 35,000 naira a minimum wage payment, or this palliative they said they want to give to civil servants? I just need that little clarity.
35,000 naira is more like a palliative. So you're going to add it to the minimum wage. The minimum wage is somewhere around the region of 30,000. Yeah. So with the 35,000 naira, so civil servants will now start taking home 65,000 naira as minimum wage every month. And we're wondering if the state governments would, necessarily want to take part of, this agreement between the government and labor, and that's why we are talking about it. And what's your take on that, then?
It's all right. Just finally, I think it's still some little time. Just finally, this police and the recruitment, the police and recruitment issue also had about from the northern state. I don't think it's a welcome development. As this other man, the Bayelsa man over the radio just called, I just forgot his name. It's like we want to encourage criminality. I want to suggest that why not the federal government? I've not even seen where states employ police people. Employs police and not states. The way everything is going, if states will be giving pardon to criminals, invariably then all other states will also be giving pardon to the criminals, and I thought we'll get criminals into our society.
Maybe
we are looking for a loom and a danger in future. That's just my little contribution.
All right, then. Thank you very much. Keep those calls coming in. But maybe they've got the permission from the IG. Maybe they have permission from the headquarters. and to say, oh, we don't have enough men in Kano State. Kano is a large landmass and we can't cover everywhere, but if we have these constables who would help us, go around, get information, gather intelligence and bring it back home so that we can do our work properly, then just maybe the headquarters or the IG would have given them permission or granted them the authority to go about doing what they're doing now. But however, they're saying that it's basically repented criminals. They have turned a new leaf, and they are lucky that they turned a new leaf, according to the Commissioner of Police. But what's your take on that? Moving on, let's say this one. Tamanosaki Jumbo, repentant militants into our police is highly dangerous. Ask the US who trained Osama bin Laden and what he later turned into. Tamanosaki Jumbo.
The show continues after this break on Nigeria Info.